Putrajaya hopes to transform KL into a land of zero open car parks, micro-housing and miniature parks in 20 years' time. This is part of its Green Innovation Plan, which will see 30% of the capital city turn into green areas. Azmizam Abdul Rashid of government think tank Urbanize Malaysia told Bernama, one thing they want to do is to encourage city folks to use public transport, and that means higher parking charges. As for the existing open car parks, they will be turned into plots for micro-houses to accommodate KL's population, which is expected to increase by about 70% by then. Urbanize is also working with KL City Hall on creating pocket parks, which will include a network of pedestrian walkways in the city. Azmizam also wants the relevant authorities to give priority to developing green and blue areas, such as rivers and ponds, to make KL a more sustainable city. Alibaba has denied it will have excessive control over the digital free trade zone following fears the initiative could hurt Malaysian firms, as CNBC reports. Just to recap, the DFTZ is aimed at easing trade between Malaysian and Chinese firms, with a core element being an electronic world trade platform. Abinit Kaul, a director at Frost & Sullivan's Asia Pacific Public Sector and Government Practice, told CNBC that the initiative is led by Alibaba, which effectively makes it a monopoly as of now. He went on to say that more private players need to be encouraged to provide similar services to ensure that there is sufficient competition in the market. However, an Alibaba spokesperson told CNBC the fears are unfounded and that this platform is open to any company willing to similarly make their own investment to develop the necessary infrastructure and embrace a public-private partnership model to foster more cross-border trade in Malaysia and elsewhere. The spokesperson added that the program does not favor small businesses in one country over another. MISC Berhad's latest quarterly net profit plunged 87.1%, dragged mainly by higher impairment losses. Fourth quarter earnings came in at 68.2 million ringgit, down from 529.8 million. Top line shrank 3.3% from 2.5 billion ringgit to 2.4 billion, no thanks to lower revenue across its operations save for LNG. It announced a dividend of 9 cents per share for the quarter under review. For its full year, MISC's net profit was down 23.3% to just under 2 billion ringgit, while revenue rose 4.7% to 10 billion ringgit. Looking ahead, MISC is expecting another challenging year for its LNG operations due to the oversupply of tonnage. The LNG shipper is planning to rely on its present portfolio of long-term time charters to provide cash flow and profit stability in FY18. On a positive note, it said 2 additional new LNG carriers will join the fleet in 2018, providing a source of income growth for the segment. BAT Malaysia saw its fourth quarter earnings nosedive by almost 74%. This was on the back of impairment of prepaid excise duty, plus the introductory investment behind the launch of its value for money brand, Rothmans. Net profit came in at 78.2 million ringgit, down from almost 300 million previously. Revenue slumped 16.7% to 700 million ringgit. It declared a fourth interim dividend of 43 cents per share. The results brings BAT Malaysia's full-year earnings to 479.7 million, down 34.5% year-on-year, while revenue slipped 20% to 3 billion ringgit. Going forward, the cigarette producer is expecting the Rothmans brand to help strengthen its portfolio in the long term, though the illegal cigarette trade will continue to be a big problem. The EPF has given its assurance that its members' savings are safe after a massive blaze destroyed nearly half its Jalan Gasing branch in Putrajaya. The pension fund said in an email statement there has been no compromise to data integrity or member savings in any manner. It will provide an update once the branch is back in operation. The fire broke out this morning. There are no reported casualties. Quoting Fire and Rescue Department's Deputy DG of Operations, Soiman Jahid, the Malay Mail reports that the blaze was triggered after sparks from restoration works ignited the polyethylene cladding outside the EPF building. According to the report, this cladding, which covered much of the building's facade, is believed to be unapproved. Soiman was quoted as saying that this incident is the first recorded case of a fire involving flammable building facade in Malaysia. He also reportedly likened it to last June's Grenfell Tower fire in London, which resulted in 71 deaths.